This is the no bullshit guide to completely end emotional abuse from women. Who am I to talk about this? Well, 6 or 7 years ago, I entered my first relationship, and I wasn't ready for what was going to happen.
It's a fucked up story.
She was still meeting her ex-boyfriend every 1 or 2 weeks because they shared dogs together, which, we could argue, well, they're sharing dogs, they should meet. The thing is, she was spending a whole afternoon with her ex-boyfriend and the dogs. And throughout the whole relationship, I felt something was off. And she was constantly trying to reassure me, like, it's okay, it's okay. My feelings told me that she cheated on me in the relationship, but I'm not sure. The thing is, when we broke up, she had sex with her ex-boyfriend very fast. Within 2 weeks, she was already having sex with him. So I received this emotional abuse throughout the whole relationship. And I'm not saying that I was the perfect boyfriend. I also did my mistakes, by the way. But it fucked me up really bad. I became extremely depressed after the relationship.
I was at a low point in my life.
I didn't know how to deal with that. I started to, fuck with a lot of girls because that was my coping mechanism at the time. And after 3 or 4 months, I started to become suicidal, to the point that one night, was a little bit drunk, took some drugs as well, and I wanted to jump out of the window. I live on the 4th floor at the time, right? And that's a whole story for another day, but I didn't do it. And the next day when I woke up, it was a bit weird because I never thought that I would become suicidal in my life. But because of this very toxic relationship that I experienced in my life, it led me to this kind of thoughts, this kind of behaviors, and the will to end it all, which is, now looking back, it's crazy to just think about this. So I've learned a lot of things along the way, and I want to share this with you because maybe you're going through a similar situation and you don't want this to happen again. And I know how it feels, man. So the first thing, and bro, like, if someone would have told me this back then, it would have helped so much. It's okay to feel pain from emotional abuse. Don't hide it. It's okay, man. I feel you feeling this pain because I've felt that as well. It's not fun to receive this kind of treatment from a girl. And you don't need to hide how much pain you feel, right? You don't need to keep it to yourself. You are allowed to share this pain to your brothers, to the people that you care about, to the people that you know can receive this level of vulnerability from you, right? You don't need to hide, man, really. Like, when I went through this experience 6-7 years ago, I didn't have anyone to share my pain with. I was all by myself. That's why I developed this suicidal thoughts, because I was not sharing my pain. I was keeping it to myself. And that was a terrible mistake I did. And thank God I didn't took away my life, right? So please, it's okay. Just, share it to someone that can actually receive your vulnerability. Second thing, do not blame women. Do not. And I know it's tempting to do this, but whenever you blame women for hurting you, you are using the blaming as a coping mechanism to basically avoid getting hurt again. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, women should be held accountable for manipulative behaviors, gaslighting, controlling behaviors, and stuff like that. They need to be held accountable, okay? I'm not taking that away. At the same time, if you're playing the blaming game, if you're holding resentment, if you hate all the women in the world, if you think all the women are untrustworthy, is it really going to help you? No. You're just protecting yourself from getting hurt again. Because if you think that all the women are going to emotionally abuse you, you are wrong. There are women out there that will never ever do this because they have more sweetness in their heart, could be, or because they have done the work to not do this, right? They understand themselves, they became more conscious, they have done the internal work, they healed their, wounds, like, childhood traumas and stuff like that. And they have a better understanding on how to navigate a relationship, right? So do not blame all the women for your pain, right? You have all the rights to hate your ex-girlfriend or this woman that hurt you, sure, but don't get caught in this for too long, because you're going to just get stuck forever in this and never be able to attract a healthy relationship. Instead of blaming women, you need to take radical responsibility for what you feel and for your reality. And I'm going to explain to you in 3 steps how taking responsibility for your dating life, for your life, for the way you feel actually looks like. First step is to learn to recognize the early signs of emotional abuse. The reason why you received this emotional abuse in the first place is because you didn't know. So don't be hard on yourself. Don't hate yourself for going through this experience and feeling fucking stupid, because now that you look back at what happened, you're like, why did I let this happen? I get it, but you didn't know back then, right? So really learn like the different ways women can manipulate you or use gaslighting, controlling behaviors. And I mean, brother, I'm not gonna make the video about the different ways here, because I could make a whole list. It's crazy, right? We can talk about blackmailing. We can talk about her micromanaging every single things that you're doing, knowing where you are and all of this shit. We can talk about her like trying to change the reality, making you think that you're wrong when you know you're right. And I could go on and on and on about all the different ways she has hurt you or how she could hurt you in the future, right? But let's not go into this. That's not really the point of the video. If you're interested in having a video like this from me, like write in the comment, I am interested in a video of all the different signs of emotional abuse, and I'll make one, and I'm gonna make like a huge list so that you have like really an understanding of how women can manipulate you, so that you don't have to go through that ever again. Now, when you understand, when you recognize the early signs of emotional abuse, it's not finished here. You need to heal your internal world. Because, and this is going to piss off a lot of you, but you need to hear this, because this is the truth, at least my truth here. If you experienced emotional abuse, it's because in some ways you have attracted this. Not that you wanted it, but you have attracted it, right? And I know it's maybe annoying to hear this, and you just want to blame women because yes, she fucking did it, but you allowed her to do it in the first place. Think about this. So when it comes down to healing your internal world, what you really want to do is basically raise your self-esteem to the point where basically you aren't going to allow these kind of behaviors in your life anymore. Because it's one thing to consciously decide, okay, no more, but your emotional system and your energy can still attract these kind of behaviors. And this is maybe the woo-woo kind of statement, but in my experience, and I'm sure some of you experience this, you can decide consciously, okay, I don't want this anymore, but you still attract it, right? It's still coming back. And that's because you didn't break the pattern internally. You haven't shifted your energy. You haven't shifted your emotions. And that's why you keep on attracting these fucking toxic relationships, these women that are gaslighting you, manipulating you, and all of this shit. So you need to completely shift your internal world. How do you do that? There's 3 things that you do. This is what I teach in my mentoring program. First one is parts work. This is from IFS. So you can look that up. There's a lot of information out there. There's a book called No Bad Parts by Richard C. Schwartz. Powerful book. Is going to teach you how to understand your internal world and how to relate with your emotions, with your thoughts, with your beliefs and stuff like that. Very powerful, transformational work. Without this, I wouldn't be here talking to you, literally. I would still be in pain and all of that shit. Another thing that you want to practice is EFT. This is tapping. Yeah. So again, look that up on the internet. You will see it's very powerful. This is about the meridians. So basically you break the pattern energetically. And again, I know this is woo-woo. So maybe some of you will be like, this is fucking weird. Fuck this shit. Okay, all good. You know, I talk about this stuff. This is my way of teaching. And I know that energy is very real. If you don't believe it's real, up to you. Let's talk in 20 years if it's still real, if it's still not real. So EFT will help you break the pattern energetically. Very powerful. And it also helps you like regulate your nervous system. It helps you relax. You know, it helps you be really centered, grounded, and all of that. And all of this is really powerful. Second and third thing, attachment repairing. Here, you're going to rewrite your relationship standards, not mentally, but more emotionally. So you're going to rewrite basically the way you relate with the woman, what you can welcome in and what you should reject. You're going to learn the healthy behaviors that you need to have in a relationship, the healthy behaviors that you need to receive from a woman, so that you can actually have a long-lasting relationship with the woman rather than having a 1 year, 2 years, 3 years relationship and then ending up with a fucking breakup and a heartbreak and feeling like shit again, right? Because I'm sure if you're watching this, maybe you want to have a long-term relationship. You don't necessarily have to, you don't necessarily want to fuck a bunch of women and all of this shit, even though it can be fun for some time. I've done it. I'm not against it, but I'm sure that you want the more meaningful connection. So for this to happen, you need to take responsibility, of course, and attachment repairing is a very important tool to rewrite this like code so that you can attract a healthy relationship. Third step, equally important, set healthy boundaries. Here, I want to say a huge statement that if you really internalize this, is going to change the game. Self-love is more important than women. One of the reasons why a lot of you guys do not set boundaries with women is because you're scared you're going to get rejected by this woman. And because you like her, because you're a little bit attached, because she's so fucking beautiful, you're like, okay, I will not express my boundary in this moment. I'll let it slip, all good. Because you're scared that if you express your boundary, she will be like, oh, okay, so ciao. Now, there's two things here. First of all, and this is very powerful, whenever you express your boundary, it's very possible that she will feel more attracted to you after that, especially with hot girls. Why? Because hot girls never have men setting the boundaries with them because they put up with their shit constantly. So if you're able to like have a date with a really beautiful woman and set your boundaries on that first date, she's going to be very surprised, but also weirdly attracted to you because she can see that you don't seek her validation, that you don't care about the outcome, and that you're just being your true self. And that's so fucking attractive. Yeah? So that's the first thing. Second thing is, even if she rejects you after the boundary, isn't that a good thing? Brother, if she is not respecting you, why would you want to be with such a woman? Where is your self-love? You put pussy on top of your self-love? Seriously, brother? What is this? Where is the self-respect? You would rather have a beautiful woman sucking your dick but completely disrespecting you? Really? That's fucking pathetic if that's your case. Seriously. And please leave this channel because I don't respect you at all. And I know this is harsh for me to say that, but this is the truth. If you value pussy more than yourself, you can leave this channel right now. I'm not interested in interacting with you. I'm being tough here, I know, but this is the truth. Like, brother, you cannot value pussy more than yourself. This is a horrible mindset. And if you think pussy is the most important thing in your life, Go away from this channel. This is not the channel about this. Now, when it comes down to like really expressing your boundaries, the way you do it has to be strong yet compassionate. One of the traps that I see men falling into is that whenever they learn about, expressing their boundaries, they do it in such a strong, uncalibrated way. And it can be received very wrongly from women, because they're like, whoa, this is too much negativity suddenly, right? So whenever you express your boundary, you have to be calm. You have to be relaxed. You have to be grounded, right? You don't want to be like, fuck you, get so angry about it, because then you're so reactive, right? So if you feel a lot of anger when you're about to express a boundary, first process the anger using tools like parts work or EFT. It's going to help you like just chill out, just relax, come back to your center, and then you express the boundary. If you cannot do any parts work or EFT, focus on your breath when you're about to express your boundary, right? Like fully inhale, fully exhale, relax your nervous system, and then express the boundary from that place. You will see how different it will be for you and for her as well. She will receive it much better if you have a heart open when you express your boundary. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It really comes from my heart. I'm talking from my experience here. This is what I've learned over the years. And if you're interested in a free course to help you attract one date opportunity every week with your 10 out of 10 using the masculine alignment process, you can click on the link down below in the description. It's really for free, like you get it for free. You just have to give me your email and you receive like an entire framework to help you attract one date opportunity every week with your 10 out of 10. I see you, my brother.